Leaving the holiness movement was one of the most difficult things I ever did. But afterwards, seeing a hero of the faith fall from grace, that hurt. Welcome back, guys. Trying out some different lighting and adjustments that might smooth the quality of the video, and so hopefully the video quality has improved. If the lighting has not. Hopefully I'll be getting some stuff in soon to be able to improve that and improve the quality of our videos going forward. For today's video, I'm going to be speaking on a very, very difficult topic. That difficult topic being Ravi Zacharias. When allegations surfaced in 2019 against Ravi Zacharias, many of us didn't believe it. And understandably so. The man had just passed away. We didn't know what was going on. We are in the middle of things with Me Too, and there had already been many false accusations made against several prominent individuals. But a previous allegation had been made against him. And so, with this being after his death, an investigation was done. An independent investigation that revealed some shocking news. I remember following this story, and frankly, I didn't trust the sources. I didn't trust that people were just coming out of the woodwork after a famous evangelist died and trying to ruin his name. That was the logical progression. And so, when I saw what, in hindsight, seemed like a random Facebook post from the Ravi Zacharias International Missions Organization, with a publishing of their findings, I opened the independent report and I read every word. Through this process, my heart was broken. It's a man I had listened to on the radio. It's a man I'd listened to for classes over and over again, whose testimony had brought me to tears, whose words could touch and impact your life, as it became very, very clear in the report, which I'll have linked below. Very clearly stated that he had done some horrible and horrific things. Now, for me, I already felt isolated and alone. This was not too long after I'd made some serious public errors. This was not too long after I had kind of officially left the holiness movement. I wasn't attending a holiness church anymore. My wife and I were married. Things were really, frankly, they were rough. We had tried to attend a local church and we just couldn't get into it. I was burnt out. Frankly, going to church, being required at Penview to go to church 3 times a week, and then minimum 3 chapels a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, barring any special occasions, it burnt me out. On top of everything else, it wasn't just that, but it was an aspect of something that burnt me out, for sure, and that's undeniable, sadly. In coming to this, feeling isolated and alone, I still occasionally listen to people like Ravi Zacharias. I'd look up some of his sermons and listen to them, and I listen to people like Alistair Begg, who's still an incredible preacher, and I really enjoy his work. Highly recommend Truth for Life Ministries. But seeing the stories about Ravi and the brokenness and everything involved broke my heart. I'm going to read you guys, quickly, a portion of what was said. The conclusion. Though, once again, I have the article attached below. Read the report for yourself. Our investigation was limited to Mr. Zacharias' misconduct. And even as to that issue, it was not exhaustive. We acknowledge that we have not spoken to all individuals who may have relevant information to provide. We strived to balance the need for completeness with the need for expediency. And we are confident that we uncovered sufficient evidence to conclude that Mr. Zacharias engaged in sexual misconduct. Having read the report, that was the only conclusion I can come to as well. Dozens of people were interviewed. Former allegations were addressed. Not all of them, though. People at RZIM were interviewed. The nail in the coffin for me was the video that came with this. The video of Ravi's own daughter, the one who's appointed to succeed him at his own ministry, coming out and saying, "It looks like these reports are true."
I believed what I had witnessed, a lifetime of integrity beyond reproach, and I believed that I had years of experiences to back this up. But I was wrong. And it's been said that it's easier to be fooled than to convince someone that they've been fooled. And now I know that more than ever to be true. When I was first presented with the evidence that the allegations were true, it quaked my very being. In fact, I still replay memories over and over in my head. How could this make sense with the man that I knew and what we now know to be true? Was it all a lie? Could he have done these things? And if he did do them, why wouldn't he have confessed them even to his family? For the rest of my life, I will have to hold in tension this man that I knew and loved with the man that we know now committed these actions.
I've had many discussions with people over the years, and I feel alone sometimes in the fact that I believe these allegations. Almost always, whenever I ask somebody in a discussion, whenever it comes up, I ask them, "Have you read the report?" And almost universally, the answer is no. I hate this kind of video. But it was an important part of my faith journey, which is why I'm sharing it. So, how did I heal? Well, a little over 2 years ago, I found a video. It was probably about 3.5 years ago now. It was titled "The Dark Sins of Ravi Zacharias," my inspiring philosophy. And I avoided that video, let me tell you. I avoided watching that video because I did not want to see it. I did not want to know how my hero here had failed. When it felt like I was isolated and alone, I didn't have people to reach out to, people to talk to. This hero of the faith, of modern day evangelist, had failed. How was I supposed to get through that? And I remember asking my wife, if even Ravi Zacharias couldn't do it, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to live? How am I supposed to even try as a Christian? It would be that video, "The Dark Sins of Ravi Zacharias," and the lesson of Samson that brought healing. You see, Samson was not a good man. In fact, he was perhaps the worst of the judges. And yet, despite his sin and unrepentance, God still used him. And in the end, even during Samson's rebellious prayer, not seeking forgiveness, but seeking vengeance, God uses him. And if God can use still an evil man like Samson, cannot God use a man who's secretly evil to still point people to him? I don't believe I will ever personally utilize anything from Ravi Zacharias' ministry. He was an eloquent speaker, but he didn't revolutionize anything. He didn't bring any special methodology or anything unique to the table. He brought an eloquence and an expertise in the gospel. And he was fantastic at arguing his position, very well spoken. But at the end of the day, he sinned. He abused people. And he will be held accountable to God for that. I'm going to share a short section from the video Inspiring Philosophy did on this topic, in hopes that it brings you as much help as it brought me.
And now, What are the people who came to Christ because of the preaching of Ravi? What sort of testimony is that? That they were led to Christ by a man who sexually and spiritually abused women? Because of what Ravi has done, some have now walked away from Christ. Many people have been left wondering what happened and if any of it was real. The question we as the church have to ask is if our faith and gratitude was in Christ or in Ravi. If you cannot look past Ravi and see the cross as the reason you're saved, then your faith was never in Christ, but in the charisma of a spokesperson. In truth, Ravi didn't save anyone. He merely presented the truth. Christ saved you. Ravi was just a pawn for a greater purpose.
This is what brought me healing. Because it reminded me I'm not following Ravi Zacharias. It's more of Paul's encouragement, follow me as I follow Christ. He was still a light for me at the time. I'm thankful for how God used that light, even while it hid the darkness of his life. He will have to answer for everything he's done, but I follow Christ. Follow me as I follow Christ. We do not follow man, and as long as somebody is living the life that Christ has demonstrated to us to live, that is what we strive for. If we fall away from our faith due to the fall of someone like Ravi Zacharias, well, was our faith ever truly in Christ? Or was our faith placed in a man or a woman who said something about Jesus in a really good way? Thank you guys for spending time with me today. I hope this video brings some blessing to you and maybe even some encouragement. It's a dark topic. It's not an easy topic, but it is part of my faith journey. And overcoming and coming to terms with the dark sins of Ravi Zacharias was not an easy thing to do. Follow Christ. He will never let you down.